That was kind of uneventful, but it's okay. So this was an old fence. Well, it wasn't really old. It was a couple of years old that just got basically put on like that other fence. Just laid in there. We are on day 2 of fencing, and we've got this whole stretch pulled out. So now we need to go dump the loader, and then when we come back, we need to pull out some of these ties. So we have some of these ties and some of these tree branches that got put in that we need to pull out so that we can put the new fence in. I seriously wonder about people's fence building abilities. So that one only has about 3 feet sticking out of the ground. This one is facing the other way. This one is facing this way. This one is 3 feet in the ground again. All fence builders are not created equal. So we did manage to get all this fence line out. I've just got these 3 posts left, and he's gonna pull them with the loader because they're too far in the ground for my post puller. And then I think we're doing lunch. And then I think we're gonna stretch fence. I think we need 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 6 of the metal posts that we put in on the steel posts that we put on the ends. We need a gate, and then just a ton of T-posts. But hopefully we can get this fence, we can at least get it stretched today. We may not get all the posts pounded, but we'll get the steel post set, and then we will get the fence stretched and go from there. When we pull these posts, we just wrap the chain around the post, and then the other end will get wrapped on the loader. Just that easy. Need to build this side up where we're going to put the fence in, so it's the same height as theirs, so that they're not on the high side here jumping over to this side. Eventually we're going to need to do this section, and then basically all the way to the other side of those trees, and then the other side of this hayfield, but not today. If we can get this far today and hook onto this post, that we'll call that a win, because that'll be just about as far as the wire that I got 2 rolls of wire, so that's just as far as that'll stretch. And right here where Juni's standing, there is the drainage for the neighbor's water that goes under our road and then pools down here, so we don't want to block that off. So this is going to be tricky to do anyway. So we're just going to stop here today and then figure out the rest of that fence eventually. It's absolutely gorgeous today. It's like 65 degrees. It feels like spring. I mean, I'm enjoying the weather. I know we need some winter, but I'm enjoying the fact that we can get a bunch of stuff done before the snow hits, before things freeze. And fencing is always high on our list. It's just, usually it's repairing rather than just tearing it out and putting new in and being done with it. So that's where we're at right now, is just to put in new fence so that we don't have the issues of the sheep getting out all the time. The If they get out on my place, yeah, it's a pain in the butt. I hate it. I have to put them back in. But if they get out at the neighbors, it just drives me absolutely batty. So that's our goal. Perimeter fencing, which was our goal last year and we never made it. But that is what we are doing now, is just all the perimeter fencing. We're gonna get this west stretch done, and then we'll have to do the north side of the north fields. And I think we have one fence we need to put up on the east side, and that should keep them, I think. Is that right? Yeah, that should keep them in, hopefully. Still burning, so that's a plus. I opened the garden up for the sheep today, and it did not take them long to mosey right in. So I'll just let them clean up whatever's in there, and that way it'll be ready for spring. It is another gorgeous day. We're still building fence, but I think he's gonna scrape some of the dirt off the end that we're gonna set the posts, and then I think we're setting posts and stretching wire. So, and he's got a meeting tonight, so I don't know how long we'll be at this, but we're gonna give it our best effort. So when we build, we try really hard not to have a difference here, because our posts are going on this low side, which means there's a foot difference between where the sheep will be at and where that fence is. So where my sheep have learned how to jump fencing, we're just trying to smooth it up so it's not quite as accessible for them to jump. It is stretched. That sucker is more than tight. Got part of the fence done, just enough that we can tie her off down here, and then we can let the loader loose. And the goal is to do it without killing anybody. Ready, Freddie?
Okay, this is when you know the fence is tight. When it plays a tune.
I only get nervous on the last couple of them. Those are usually the ones that, even though the rest of it's tied, those are the ones that can hurt you. Boise. thought we were getting weights for the pickup, and instead he picked up, oh dear, that. So I really have no clue what's going on. I do know we're taking a bunch of stuff to the junkyard. Bunch of metal that he's pulled out of the shop, so I'm wondering if he's taking those discs with us and keeping the good one. But I really have no clue. Maybe that's what he meant by disc on the front, not a disc like a weight disc. I don't know. It's way too early. I'm not awake, and processing is not 100% yet. We are at the recycling plant with all the stuff in the back, and we sort of forgot to let somebody off at the house. So she got a nice ride to Twin, and so far so good. She hasn't jumped out, she hasn't barked. She is not so sure about this whole ordeal.
That was easy. Maybe. Well, that's kind of cool. He gets to build a sculpture every time.
Yeah, that would have made it so much easier. If you could just like run one of those through the shop and then dump it right into your bucket. You know how much stuff we'd get rid of?
It would have to pick up trash though.
It would. Judy's still not impressed.
No, she's not.
I found Bambi. It's not often we see him out here. Another day, another fence. We are gonna keep pulling out fence and at least stretch that other piece of wire. Hopefully today. We'll see. I'm not really sure what he's doing. I think this fence is going to be a little slower going. It's pretty covered in weeds. Same thing. We're just cutting the wire off. We need to pull this old sheep fencing out because it is not, it's so far in the grass. It is not coming up at all. It's not often I get the cushy seat. Balmy 19 degrees out. It's a tad bit chilly. We're gonna go ahead and check the sheep, and then we gotta run to town for fuel so we can get that fence finished today because we ran the loader out of fuel yesterday. Got a Waller down in the muck.
Oh shit. We gotta get big boots and
Oh, she's
out
like
there.
in the water. Okay. When we headed out back this morning, we found that she is bogged down in the water and muck, and so we ran into the barn. He's looking for his waders. I threw on my irrigating boots, and we're gonna go back and try and get her pulled out. Lovely way to start the day.
I can't believe where's this water coming from?
I don't know.
Whoa. Ooh. Probably what she said too.
Yeah, I'm guessing she just was drinking and kept moving.
Alright, so I'm looking for the shallow. I'm probably gonna have to
I'm gonna have to drag her that way. I don't even know how to help you. Juni, out! I know, sis, you're pretty wallered.
Ditch right behind me.
Oh, sister.
I know. One big leap. Hold on. Let me get to another solid.
June.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
Might need to pull her front legs out again. 80 pounds of water on it, sister.
Shit, just like that, I can wait 4 foot down.
Yep. There you go. Whoop. Whoop.
Come on.
Yep. Okay, easy. Easy, easy. Okay. Holy crud, y'all. Easy, sister. Okay, well, that was a win. Got her out. She's up. She's moving. Doesn't look like she's been in there very long, thankfully, but he's trying to take off his waders. And I wish I'd recorded him getting them on. But it's a good thing he had those because I could not get out as far as I needed to get her. I was already sinking. Oh my gosh. I was already sinking where I was standing, and we still needed like 2 more feet to get to her to be able to turn her around. So it's a good thing he had those so that we could pull her out. And, you know, she was up, she was moving, so we'll keep an eye on. Yeah, then I think we're back to building fence. Today is my last day off. I work for the next 10 days straight, I think. So not much is gonna get done here at the farm while I am gone, but he'll be here so he can do something, right?
No.
No. She is right there. She's up, she's moving, she's
Covered in mud.
covered in mud, but she's no noticeable issues. I haven't got any fencing done today, but we are burning weed patches again. This fence line is the next one we're gonna do after we finish this other one. Sorry, I'm watching him, make sure that I can like stay ahead of him. Yeah, so we are, oh wow, okay. He and my daughter burned this fence line earlier this summer. It hasn't been done since then, and since we are going to be pulling out this entire fence line and fencing it as well, re-fencing it, we need to at least get the weeds out of here. We're gonna, I mean, once we pull the fence, we'll bring the loader out and smooth it down so that we can put the new fence in, but this will just help us actually be able to pull this old fence out. Fence that we're doing runs about a half a mile, so it's definitely going to take some work and a lot of fencing. That is not cheap, but then we can put the sheep on this field without worrying about them going to the neighbor's hayfield. And since it's supposed to rain tonight, we won't be getting this hay baled, so we'll need to feed it off. So we just went and moved all of the hose and all of the pipe out from the weed patch so that we didn't burn it up. Well, today didn't exactly go as planned. It was supposed to be a fencing day. Get the rest of that fence pulled and stretch the new fence, get the two sides, throw some posts in and get the two sides done. Instead, he wanted to burn weeds because it's supposed to rain tonight, and so we burned that other fence line that we're gonna do after we finish this fence line. And then we spent most of today basically driving around, at least all morning. We had to go to town, get fuel for the loader since we ran it out of fuel yesterday. And then as we were on our way home, our neighbor, he's like 2 miles away, he lives on the canyon. He called, said Ned was over there because one of his dogs is in heat. So we headed over there to try and find Ned, and they were setting cat traps, not like little kitty traps. For these little kitties. But there are mountain lions in the canyon. And a couple weeks ago, maybe it was last month, down, I say neighbor because everybody's a neighbor, but it's a few miles away. Anyway, he lives on the canyon, and he went outside, and there was one like in his front yard. He ended up shooting it, and then like right there was a second one. He missed that one, it took off. Buddy of ours, again, just down the road, he's probably 3/4 of a mile from us, also lives on the canyon. He had 6 of his doe goats killed by the mountain lion. I am, not that I wish any any bad luck. I mean, we have had our share of bad luck this year, thanks to predators. But I would prefer to stay in the canyon. I don't need any more trouble here on my farm. We had, oh gosh, I'll bet it's probably been 10 years. We had a mountain lion that lived out back in our trees an entire winter, and this was when, well, it was probably longer than that because we still had cattle and we were running cattle, and thankfully we didn't have any issues, but it lived there. We saw the tracks, we saw signs of it. It was all over the place, and so I don't want another one here. So that one can stay there, and hopefully they will get it caught and taken care of. We did talk to Fish and Game today, and that's going to be a whole nother video because I'm so frustrated right now over the whole eagle situation. I need time to not be cranky. But yeah, I will update you on that whole situation here. Maybe the next video, maybe one after that. We'll see how long it takes for us to get all the information back. But anyway, so needless to say, between looking for Ned, talking to the neighbors, and burning weeds, we never got any fencing done today. So, but that's okay. Anyway, that's going to be it for us tonight. It's dark, it's late, and these cats are wanting fed. So we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.